Brittany. So today's video is gonna be different. I mean, I know usually I do movie reviews, but I'll do one next week. But today's gonna be different, and today I'm gonna share with you uh, some of the TV shows that I grew up watching. Now, there is a lot, there is a lot of TV shows that I grew up watching quite little, but I can't really go through a whole lot because it's just a long list. But so far I have 10 here that I will list and name those shows that I did grow up watching. Now, just to let you know, there are some cartoon shows I did grow up watching, not all of them, and there are some I did like, and there's just some I didn't. So, and even to this day, and there are some shows I didn't even heard about, I didn't even grow up watching, but then when I have heard of them, probably when I was a teen, and when I saw how some of those cartoon shows were just a little too much, how they were like just disturbing, and to me it just didn't seem like quite like a kids show. Then yes, I remember thinking, okay, I'm glad I didn't grow up watching that. Like, for example, that disturbing cartoon, I think it's called Ren and Stimpy, if I'm saying it right. But when I have heard of that one, I thought, okay, I never heard of it. And when I saw what kind of show it was, I'm like, okay, I'm so glad I didn't grow up watching it, because I think that would have disturbed me as a child. I would have been like, what are they doing? They're not supposed to be doing that, and I would have been confused, like, okay, why are they doing that, and I would have had a lot of questions to why they're doing that, or thinking, like, what the heck, why are they doing that? That's not good, that's not right. So I think that would have been disturbing. So no, I'm glad I didn't watch that one. So yeah, I even see some clips of that show, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm just thinking, okay, that's too much. But yeah, here are the ones I did grow up watching. Now, I would say there are some of these shows I'm glad I did grow up watching, some I'm like, why? Because there are some I just didn't like. Okay, so 1, Teletubbies. Honestly, I don't know why, but yeah, Teletubbies was one of them that I grew up watching quite young, and I did not like it. It was very irritating, and to me, I remember when I was watching it quite little and just thinking, like, I didn't know what they were. I think they were aliens, I'm not sure. I think that's what they were, but the thing is, I just remember thinking, like, what are these things? And I remember thinking, like, how they're just so weird, and I was pretty much confused all the time, like, okay, what are they, like, so to me, everything they were doing or saying, I had no idea at all. And I'm like, and I just remember thinking, like, this is weird, and I'm like, I don't like this. So yeah, I did not like watching Teletubbies. I did not. Now, for those who like Teletubbies, that's fine. Although I'm not a fan. I never liked them since I was watching them. And why? Not because I wanted to, but because it would be right there on the TV. So yeah. And two, Rugrats. Yeah, I remember watching a little bit of Rugrats. Rugrats. I'm sorry. Although maybe not so much. I thought it was okay here and there, but I don't know. I don't think I liked it that much. Sawga. Now, for those who may or may not know of that show, it is a cartoon show that was on PBS. So, yeah, I grew up watching that, and I actually really liked that one. Read Between the Lions. So that one I actually did like. I actually thought was entertaining and educational. So that I did like. Blue's Clues. Yes, I actually really liked Blue's Clues. I really liked it. To me, I also thought it was quite interesting and just a fun way to learn, so I actually liked it. Um, Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah, I remember watching that show. Maybe some episodes here and there, and I thought that there were some parts that were funny, and yeah, I just liked it. I still think it's a good show, although it's just been so long since I've seen it. Very long. Winnie the Pooh, because it was. It wasn't Disney Channel. It was Toon Disney. It was actually that channel, where they would show the cartoon shows, like Disney cartoon shows. So those ones I actually did like. I know there was a cartoon show, a Disney one of Timon and Pumbaa, and I love The Lion King. I'm a Lion King fan. So, I don't know, for some weird reason, I did not grow up watching that because I don't remember watching it when I was quite little, and I wish I had grew up watching it, but I didn't. But it is on Disney Plus though, so I will be watching the show from there. And who cares if I'm an adult? If I want to watch a Disney cartoon show, then I have every right to. It's my free will. So I didn't like that. So that was actually just a cute, fun Disney cartoon show. So I actually really liked it. I enjoyed it. Of Winnie the Pooh. Oh, and before I get to these two other ones, okay, so one I do remember watching, and I'm not proud of it, and it's Barney. Yes, it's Barney. Oh gosh. Yeah, I did not like it, and I did not like the intro song, where the kids are singing the intro song of Barney saying something. I don't know the whole lyrics. Something about something imagination, something like that. Like I said, I don't know the whole lyrics. I just know that the way it sounded, it just. Now I don't mind like now when kids sing a song, I think it's fine. I don't mind it, but the way this one sounded, it just sounded irritating. And then by the end of the episode, you hear "I love you, you love me," but again, the way that song is the way how he sings it, and later when the kids join him and they all sing it, it's no, it's already stuck in my head. Okay, no, I don't want to be talking about Barney, but okay, now here's the thing. Like I said, again, the way they're singing this song, it just sounds irritating. It really does. I can't express enough just how irritating it is. And honestly, just by mentioning it, it's already stuck in my head. I don't need that. I don't need that song stuck in my head. I need something else stuck in my head. I need a different song. Oh my gosh. I don't like this. But I do remember this, that that what I can't find my words. I think there was a documentary on Barney on Peacock, and so I remember I left a comment on Facebook saying how I didn't like watching Barney, and then someone said something back, and I'm like, well, no, that has nothing to do with that. It's just that, for one, I was just, very little, and to me, like, I just didn't like it. I mean, I know some say, oh, that they liked it because it helped them to learn about things, like, I think just like good, valuable lessons, and I get that, but honestly, I wasn't picking that up only because to me, it was like, well, it just didn't make sense of having this huge purple dinosaur, and I felt like when I was watching it, I felt like I wasn't really paying much attention, only because I wasn't really interested in watching the show. So to me, it's like, if I was gonna watch a show that was teaching kids valuable, important lessons, I think I would have watched a show where it could have been very different, like, you know what I mean? Like, just very, like, if it had a different setup, and if it was presented in a way where I could have paid more attention to it, then yeah, maybe that would have been different. But because this one was done differently, then yeah, I just had no interest in watching the show. And what annoyed me was the song. And now, when they sing I love you, you love me, now there's nothing wrong with saying I love you, you love me, there's nothing wrong with that. But the way they're singing it gets on my nerves, it's almost like, um, it's almost like fingernails, on a chalkboard. That's what it's like to me. It's like, no. I feel like I'm gonna cover my ears and hide myself under a blanket until the song ends. So, and another show I grew up watching was Dora, and now that, I think there's some things I liked, but I didn't like it as much either, only because to me it just seemed like when she would point out to something, and when she would like talk to the audience, the younger audience, and she's like she would say something and she's like, where? And I'm like, oh, so to me it's just like, no, don't talk to me like that. So yeah, I did not like that, like how she would like be looking at the camera and she would say something, and I'm like, yeah, so that was the one thing I didn't like. And I don't like other shows that do that either. Where, for example, like if there was a show where had, if someone had the letter of the letter A, and I'm like, what's the letter? And then, they almost say it in that way, like the letter is A, and apple starts with A. And to me, it just seems like when they say things like that, I also find it annoying. And to me, it's like, okay, like, do you really have to say it like that? Like, I'm not a baby. Like, yes, I know that's an A. Apple starts with A. Yeah, I get it, but you don't have to say it that way. Like, A. Like, I don't like that. So that's why I kind of noticed with Dora too, how that almost kind of sounded like that. And I did not like that. I still don't like. Mm-mm. So, enough with that and enough with Barney. Because I had enough with Barney. I don't like Barney. And I don't need that damn irritating song in my head. No offense. One other show I did grow up watching, and this isn't suited for kids, but it's beyond belief, fact or fiction, and James Brolin was the host of the first season until Jonathan Frakes was the host for season 2 through 4. And so, yeah, I did grow up watching that show. I remember there are some episodes I did watch, and there were some stories I remember that they showed and everything. Someone's listening to music. Yeah, now it is a good show, although there are some stories that they show in each episode that are quite scary. And for those who are familiar with Beyond Belief, you know what I'm talking about, because through each season and episode, they share these, I believe, five short stories, and each one, you got ones that are scary, you got ones that are not scary, and I like those ones, and you've got those maybe are just a little silly. But I mean, other than that, and of course you got ones where it doesn't seem to make sense. But either way, they show these stories, and you have to guess which of these stories is either fact or fiction. And so, yeah, and the thing is, I didn't like the theme song to that either, because this one was scary. This theme song is still very eerie. Like, somehow it sounds eerie in a haunting way, because it just kind of stays with you. It's just one of those things that just repeats in your head over and over, and it just doesn't leave. So I remember that actually really scared me. It really did. Although there were some episodes and stories I did not watch at the time, quite little, not until when I was a teenager. And some of the stories that I did end up watching, I was absolutely scared of. Like, for example, like in season 3, and as I have mentioned in my slumber party live stream, but I have mentioned about that scary story of the Mirror of Truth, where she goes to the beauty salon to get her makeup done, but she doesn't like it. And then the lady, she gets upset with her So she had put a hex on her. She cursed her. And so when she went home and she looks at herself in the mirror and her reflection is I'm pretty sure you heard that. That was quite loud. But yes, so when she looks at herself in the mirror, her reflection is horribly terrifying, disfigured. Now, of course, we don't see it at first, but we're thinking, okay, what's wrong? And then she tries to do everything that she can. She finds any face creams that could help with her face. She even goes to see a doctor, but then the doctor comes to her house. But the thing is, now on the outside, her face looks normal. There's nothing wrong, but it's only her reflection that looks terrifying. And that's only because when that lady had put a hex on her, cursed her, is because the way she acted towards her in the beauty salon. She put a curse on her because she is like, she did that because it was her ugliness. It was her ugliness that was the inside in her that was reflecting in the mirror, because that was in her. So now of course, I don't think, I know, I'm mixing up my words, but I don't think she ever came to realize that, because she believed her face completely changed from the outside. The outside, no. In the mirror, yeah, she doesn't look the same of her reflection, because her ugliness is reflecting onto the mirror, because that's what was inside of her, because of the fact that she wasn't a nice person. So that's that. But yeah, I remember after seeing that, it scared me so much, and my sister. It completely traumatized us, and honestly, I'm still like traumatized by that, because I never ever want to look at that again. It's so scary looking that I will never look at that again, not even by a picture. No, because then I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping. And so I have mentioned that story before, and I'm sorry if I mention it again, because I don't want any of you to end up having nightmares. And in case if you want to look up on the picture, go to Google Images, but just be warned that it is scary. So yeah, just so you know. And there's another story that also scares me, is where this family lives at the house, and I think they have I'm not sure if it's the grandma or a nanny, I think. And then one night the young boy goes to the kitchen, I think, to get a drink, I think a glass of water. But then he sees two red glowing eyes in the kitchen, and it looks like a shadow figure, like a shadow of a head floating with these red eyes. He gets scared, runs, and the parents think that maybe he saw red lights from a car. So yeah, they thought that maybe he saw headlights or the lights on the back of the car, but no. And of course the parents don't believe him. And so it wasn't until I think the nanny was trying to comfort him and trying to get him to sleep. And so I think that she tells him, I forgot what she tells him. She tells him something that there's no such thing as the monster or whatever it was, and that she tells him something, I think, just to make him think, it wasn't real, don't worry, everything will be okay, go back to sleep. And then as she closes his his bedroom door behind her, her eyes are glowing red. That is scary. Oh, I remember, I think when I first saw that when I was a teenager, that really shocked me because I didn't know it was her. Like this creature or whatever she was that had these glowing red eyes. So it was her, like, all along. So yeah, I remember I was so shocked, and even just by thinking about it, I have chills. Like, ugh, that is scary. Okay, I don't want to keep mentioning scary stories from the show on because I'm gonna get more scared. And not only that, but I don't want to be feeling all, so no. But, if you do want to watch the show, for those who haven't seen it, if you would like to watch it, it is free to watch on YouTube, so yeah, check it out on there. Or if you have the Roku channel, you could check it out on there as well. Another show I grew up watching is Whose Line Is It Anyway? With Drew Carey as the host of the show. So I do remember growing up watching it, and it's just a really great, funny show, and the way they play these fun but silly games, and they just, the way they play these games, like I said, it's just like fun and also like quite funny. And I just remember there are some things that did make me laugh, and I know most of it's very more of a more mature, for adults. But there are some things I actually did quite find funny, but I'm actually watching it at the moment. Well, not right now, but I have been watching it lately because it's on HBO Max, and I gotta say that, because it's been a long time since I've seen it, and now that I'm watching it, yeah, I would say there's some things that they say or even mention or even joke about, or even the way they play the games with adult mature topics or themes here and there. I do get it, so it just makes me laugh, and yeah, it is still quite good and funny to watch. So yeah, that's one of them that I did grow up watching. Oh, and I also remember growing up watching the Drew Carey show too. Although I don't think that's free to watch. I don't think so. I remember some episodes. Yeah, that's it. I remember some episodes, although I don't remember a whole lot. I don't know how the show came to an end, but honestly, I would like to watch it again. I would like to watch a whole show from season 1 to... how many were there? I don't know. But I would like to watch it again because it's also been years since I've seen that one. So I would like to watch it again. So... oh man, I'm so sorry that it's going on for so long. But I hope you enjoyed this, and yes, I will be doing a movie review by next week, so keep an outlook for that. And yes, there are still a lot more shows that I grew up watching, but I will list them in the description below, and you can check out all these shows that I grew up watching when I was quite little. So yeah. Hope you enjoy this, and leave a comment down below which of these shows you grew up watching, or or which shows maybe not these ones, or maybe so, or maybe some other ones you grew up watching. So let me know. And to see more content like this, even movie content, dreams, and reactions, please subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.